You know, I feel like I always preface my end of the year videos the same way. That being that the winter season was the weakest of the year. And frankly, that's a common theme. Usually the winter season has like one really good show, two solid shows, and the rest are just plain mediocre. And you know what? That's how it always seems to be. However, winter 2020 was a hell of a good season. I mean, with all this coronavirus mess going on, at least there's some damned good anime to watch. You know, since I lost my f***ing job. I wish that was a joke, but it's not. Man, screw the coronavirus. Now, I know some other anime YouTubers will disagree with me. Staku. But damn, I could not disagree more. This season, I started out watching 8 shows, which is pretty common. But usually by the end of the season, I drop down to maybe 2 or 3. This season, I am still watching all 8, which is insane. So today, I figured I'd do a quick video briefly going over what I've been watching and why it has kept me hooked. And secretly, this is also a great way for me to give a little shout out to shows that I usually don't have enough time to dedicate an entire video to. Starting, of course, with one of my favorites that I haven't gotten a chance to talk about, Bofuri. I think it's just an acronym since the title of this anime is like a paragraph in itself, but basically this anime follows around a girl who is new to gaming and gets into the world of VR gaming. Basically, it's like SAO, except, you know, without all the death and melodrama. Frankly, when I first saw this anime, I assumed it was going to be another generic isekai ripoff, but honestly, I freaking love this show. Not many anime have ever kept me impatiently waiting for the next episode, but I am super invested into this show's characters. I just love the idea that basically there is this girl who doesn't know a damned thing about RPGs, drops all of her stats into defense, and accidentally finds exploit after exploit. I think my favorite part is when they show the devs talking on occasion and they're all like, "God damn it, Maple, stop!" I think the most ironic part is that this game straight up has to get hotfixed because of how often Maple finds a way to break it. Frankly, it's an upbeat, happy-go-lucky anime with fun characters. Like, I haven't had this much fun watching an anime since No Game, No Life. It's just so lighthearted, grounded, and knows exactly what it wants to be. And that's something truly special. So, on the other end of the spectrum, we have interspecies reviewers. This is one of the shows that I actually made a video on. Granted, it was kind of a meme video, but really this show is truly funny as hell. I've always had a thing for the ecchi genre, as long as they had some creative way to explain it. And damn, what is a more creative way to explain ecchi than it literally being a show about guys going to brothels and writing reviews on the species there. I'm not going to lie, half the reason I love this show is out of complete morbid curiosity. It really loves to talk about all kinds of species, from zombie girls to golems to straight up succubuses. Succubi? I don't know, you get the point. It feels almost educational at times, if I dare say, and that just adds to the overall comedy of the show. I mean, first and foremost, the show is meant to be funny, and it does a damn good job of it. The comedy in the show comes from the primary trio always having very different reactions to each of the species, and just the shenanigans they get themselves into. So from comedy, let's go to drama, and boy, we are diving straight into it with Darwin's Game. Basically, the show is about a kid who gets this app installed on his phone that forces him into IRL battle royales, except everyone gets free superpowers. Look, honest opinion, this show is kind of stupid at times. Okay, that's not true. It's stupid a lot of the time. This show is campy, super overdramatic, and just weird as all hell. But let me tell you something. I cannot look away. And it's not like morbid or anything like that. For all this show's many, many flaws, at the end of the day, it's just really fun to watch. I low-key enjoy all of the characters. I think the main character's super dramatic and totally off-tone speeches are just fucking golden sometimes. I especially love when he is asking his guild members if they still want to be part of his guild, if they knew that in truth, his only goal was to kill the creator of Darwin's game, even though literally everyone who has entered his guild so far had a one-on-one conversation explaining that they too would kill the creator of Darwin's game if only they had a chance. And he does his whole speech like he's expecting everyone to leave for some damned reason. He's just kind of a complete idiot, but the show plays it so straight. And for that, I just can't stop watching. Well, you guys knew I had to talk about Eizouken, right? Once again, this is another anime I've already covered on this channel, so I'll keep it brief. Basically, it's one of those anime that explores this idea of what is animation from a very bare bones perspective. It's gorgeously animated and stylistic, and the characters are incredible and fun to follow. It's genuinely my second favorite show of the season, and like I said, if you want to know more, just make sure you guys go watch my full video on the show. Speaking of stylistic shows, I'm so glad I can finally talk about Hanako-san. Holy crap, this anime is something else. From a stylistic standpoint, this show is almost hypnotizing. It is gorgeous, and the style alone would be more than enough to keep me watching this show. However, as I'm sure you've guessed, Hanako-san is more than just a pretty show. It's a mystery anime with a ton of supernatural characters and very unusual plot lines. The anime in its entirety feels more like a dream than a structured show. And then there is, of course, Hanako-san himself. The voice actor for Hanako-san is truly amazing. I mean, his voice is one of those voices where when you hear it, you just kind of listen. Hanako-san could be murdering my best friend, but as long as he was narrating it, I'd happily listen to every word. It's akin to Morgan Freeman and the way it just pleases the ear. The story itself is a bit unusual, but it's still almost addicting. The show is definitely strange, but it's one of those anime that you know you will love within the first 5 minutes of episode 1. Speaking of which, yay, more excuses to talk about Somali and the Forest Spirit. Oh my god, like I said in my video dedicated to this show, this anime is my favorite of winter 2020. It's just your classic father-daughter story of them traveling the world. However, the father is a golem who is at the end of his lifespan, and the daughter is one of the last remaining humans. Thus, it's the golem's goal to find humans to raise her while keeping it hidden that she is human, so no one will try and kill her for it. Look, the characters are amazing, the world is creative, and the show walks this wonderful balance of drama, fun scenes, and life lessons. I mean, if you're into these kind of slice-of-life anime, I could not recommend Somali and the Forest Spirit enough. And that just leaves us the last two anime. Now, these anime, I'm going to warn you, aren't my favorite shows of the season, yet nonetheless, I've kept up with them for the most part, and if they are your type, go right on ahead. First is Seton Academy. It's basically My Gym Partner is a Monkey, the anime. It follows a guy who is sent to an all-animal school and ends up making friends with some of the other animals. The main reason I watch this show is just how cynical the main character is. You can tell that he just hates everyone and everything except for the other human girl there. The show also just throws in random facts about animals in there for some reason, like maybe to justify this weird-ass premise. I don't know, man. It's just an unusual anime that I somehow find myself going back to week after week. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot, the naked mole rats are amazing. God, they're like the best characters in the anime. Like, if I had enough people, I would love to do a group cosplay of them. And the final anime, and frankly my least favorite, Infinite Denogram. This is another isekai anime similar to the Shield Girl anime. Once again, he's actually not stuck in the other world, and even dies on occasion. I really enjoyed the sort of carefree attitude the show had at the beginning, but it's gotten a bit overdramatic the further the show has gone on. I don't hate it per se, but I like a lot of the fight scenes, and I think the overall premise of the show is really interesting. It's just a bit rough at times because it struggles to decide between comedy and drama. And these are the 8 shows I've been watching for winter 2020. Like I said, this season has been incredible, and as shitty as this whole coronavirus mess has been for the whole world, at least we have some good anime to pass the time. Thank you guys for watching. A huge thank you to my patrons, you guys are my heroes. Seriously, these past few weeks have been pretty damned rough on me with the whole losing my job and so on. It's nice to know you guys are there and believe in my dream of one day making this my job. So make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Manime Matt. Make sure you guys say man and go watch that goddamn anime.